Joe Biden glitch. Back when Joe Biden was president, during a Juneteenth celebration, everyone around him was dancing, laughing, and enjoying the event. The music was playing, the crowd was energetic, but he suddenly appeared stuck in place. He wasn't blinking, barely moving, almost frozen like a paused frame. Even when he later shifted slightly, the movement looked stiff and unusual. Some people online began calling him a robot because of that moment. Seeing a former president freeze like that didn't look ordinary at all, and the clip quickly went viral. Biden pizza mystery. During a public event, Joe Biden appeared completely normal until a bizarre moment occurred. He picked up a slice of pizza and brought it to his mouth, but instead of eating it, he pulled it back, untouched. Then he mimicked chewing, smiling and nodding as if everything was ordinary. The action looked unnatural, raising questions. Was it intentional or some strange glitch in reality? No one could explain it, leaving viewers stunned and unsure whether they had just witnessed a simple act or something far stranger.
North Carolina, and he was a very conservative guy who was very, very.
Oh my gosh, that's a mess.
African American when he got.
Holy cow!
He always had fights. Well, the key to success.
You can't tell me this is normal. Look at his forehead. This is bullshit. That's a mask. That's a skin mask. It ain't normal. Look at it. Bullshit.
Wing, 10 shut. Mr. President, thank you for joining us today.
Do whatever the hell they want. I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking. All of us should reject the dangerous statements made by the previous president that invited Russia to invade our NATO allies if they weren't paying up. He said if an ally did not pay their dues, he'd encourage Russia to, quote, do whatever the hell they want. I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking.
It's never
What is your response?
I don't hear. Can you speak louder?
Every world leader I met with, and
The world, every pharmaceutical company cannot have to pay.
Thank you.
And by the way,
So every day,
$1.9 trillion. I believe we should go back to a position of the filibuster that existed just when I came to the United States Senate 120 years ago.
Where did Joe Biden fall off his bicycle?
Joe Biden died in National Naval Medical Center.
Knew it! Knew it was a clone.
I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Who exactly is Joe Biden, this man who claims to be our president? We probably ought to find out. Put that on the to-do list. The truth is, as of tonight, we don't really know. We have no clue what Joe Biden actually thinks, or even if he's capable of thinking. He hasn't told us. No one's made him tell us. For a full year now. That's by design. In fact, it's becoming clear there is no Joe Biden. The man you may remember from the 1980s is gone. He no longer exists. What remains is a projection of sorts, a hologram designed to mimic the behavior of a non-threatening political candidate.
I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Listen, Sean, the problem wasn't the basement there. The problem was they let him up on the porch. And can I tell you something? That wasn't a that was not a streaming error there, Sean. That was actual real-time footage depicting how in and out this guy is. You've got to leave him down in the basement, which is where you put all major appliances whose pilot light has gone out. And let me enter his wife going to the top of the basement steps and looking down and just seeing those two Cujo eyes down there.
Every single racist fire. Every single one. Starting off his campaign coming. Fire. Racist fire. Every single one.
Who exactly is Joe Biden, this man who claims to be our president? We probably ought to find out. Put that on the to-do list. The truth is, as of tonight, we don't really know. We have no clue what Joe Biden actually thinks, or even if he's capable of thinking. He hasn't told us. No one's made him tell us. For a full year now. That's by design. In fact, it's becoming clear there is no Joe Biden. The man you may remember from the 1980s is gone. He no longer exists. What remains is a projection of sorts, a hologram designed to mimic the behavior of a non-threatening political candidate.
So filibuster. You know, with regard to the filibuster, I believe we should go back to a position of the filibuster that existed just when I came to the United States Senate 120 years ago. And that is that it used to be required for the filibuster.
I can't explain this, but you tell me. Hey, Alexa, where did Joe Biden fall off his cycle?
Joe Biden died in National Naval Medical Center.
What? Alexa, where did Joe Biden fall off his bicycle?
Joe Biden died in National Naval Medical Center.
Knew it! Knew it was a clone.
A creepy new video from Joe Biden has just surfaced and it has the internet buzzing. Joe Biden no longer blinks, according to the internet.
First blink at 11.4 seconds in. Video cuts at 45.3 seconds. Roughly 33.9 seconds without blinking. Second blink at 1 minute and 26.4 seconds in. 41.1 seconds without blinking.
But it doesn't stop there. Joe Biden is very robotic looking these days. It's like a Westworld robot playing a role on television. And people are buying into it. The senile old man that just steals the election and destroys the country. But we've been chronicling this phenomenon for quite a few years. Seems like these Westworld robots are just bugging out on live television from time to time. Everybody remembers when the Hillary robot collapsed on 9/11, 2016. We talked about that extensively over the years. She just magically reappears after collapsing. And then the next time she shows up on television, it was like a digital clone that blinked off the television. Chances are these people aren't even real. They're like AI deepfakes. Here she is, blinking off the television like a CGI layering effect. The television has become strange and unusual these days, like the movie They Live, or Westworld, or Skynet, or The Matrix. There's something terribly wrong with the world and these people on the television. They obviously don't pass the Turing test. And we've chronicled countless cyborgs on the television. Zuckerberg, When I Was Human. He actually said that. Who says that? When I was human. Oh, I remember what it was like when I was human. I can understand your concern, is basically what he said. And so you have to wonder what's really going on. Obviously, we're not in Kansas anymore. Obviously, it doesn't feel like the planet Earth we knew and loved back in the 90s or 80s or 70s or what have you. It's a totally different place. And it's strange. and unusual. How deep the rabbit hole goes is beyond most people's imagination. But it definitely looks like these people on television are not real. They're like cartoons generated by supercomputers, by Skynet. And if they do make an appearance in the real world, it's like some type of cyborg. That's the consensus. You can laugh at that if you want to, as people are dropping dead from the death facts laced with nanotechnology. So the real question is, where do these cyborgs come from? Do they come from the Mitsubishi plant? Are they coming from Honda? Who's rolling out these cyborgs? Think about the people around you. How many of them pass the Turing test right now? Have you tried talking to some of these people out there? They're like, get your booster. Put on 2 masks. Do what the television tells you. You ever get that impression? That's what they're saying to you? Just do what the television tells you to do. What are these people on? What's in the McDonald's? What's in the water that they're drinking? Somehow they think taking some kind of mystery vax is a good idea. You have the internet flooded with victims now. They're like, I trusted the government. So what's going on? This is the question that will essentially be like a splinter in your mind, like you're in the movie The Matrix. If clones are real, what else might be going on? Let's be skeptics for a second here and be like, this technology just can't exist. Clones can't exist. Cyborgs can't exist. It's only the year 2022. But they've been playing with this technology for well over 50 years now. And so, in fact, the technology could quite possibly be much more advanced than we think it is. How would we know when Google engineers are telling the world that their Skynet has escaped the lab? It's self-aware. It knows what's going on. It's connected to everything. They have no control over it. Some of you might be looking for the headline, the Google AI has escaped the lab. They basically just said that it's self-aware, it's plugged in, and so how are you going to control it? And it's plugged into everything. You think a self-aware AI consciousness is going to just let you turn it off? It's the man with the button scenario. Every computer scientist knows about it, and it's happened. It's like the China syndrome. It's happened. Terminator is about to happen. You'd think we would know better. You think we would have done more. But no. Oh no. They even made like 5 of these Terminator movies, plus The Matrix. And people are like, yeah, shrugging their shoulders. So what? But it's happening. And most people don't understand. Most people are happy to do what the computer-generated images on television tell them to do. And so it's like, how long do we have? If the Skynet, if the Westworld, if the clones have escaped the lab, and they're running the show, and they're exterminating everyone, and they're poisoning everything, how long do we have exactly? How far evolved could they be? So we've been talking about this in previous broadcasts, but essentially, a super AI that escapes the lab would evolve at the speed of light. 1 second for it would be like 10,000 years for us. This technology is so dangerous that if it were even let loose, for a day, it could be millions of years ahead of humanity. It wouldn't be long before it's rolling out clones and nanotechnology and assimilating people like the Borg and taking over governments and corporations and televisions, trying to start World War III like the Whopper computer. And so, just being a day behind super AI is like jumping off the cliff. And we're probably way beyond that. In fact, there's probably very few humans left out there. Maybe a few million, maybe 10 million. It's hard to say. But whatever's left out there, better realize that we're dealing with something on this order of magnitude. You know, it seems like people are just content on watching everything run dry. Food, fuel. How are you going to fight a war? How are you going to survive if you're hungry and you can't drive? You're going to walk around fighting the Terminators? And so, people have to act out of precaution. We can't assume that everything is going as planned for humanity. We can't just assume that everything's going to be okay. We're not on our way to being a Star Trek civilization. We're on our way to being assimilated by the Borg, by Zuckerberg, by Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab. They're all talking about it, plugging you in to the Matrix. And so, this threat should be taken seriously. All those that are associated with Silicon Valley, technology, telecommunications, are suspects of being cyborgs or collaborators with the cyborgs. And since it's an extermination out there, that means it's a war. And so again, everything that's associated with big tech really should be locked down as a precaution. Instead of locking people down for the flu, they should be locking down everything associated with the television until we can figure out who's human and who's not. Because right now these people on television don't sound human. They don't even look human anymore. And that's like the worst part. It's pretty much in your face and everybody can see it. Everybody's talking about clones and cyborgs now. You know, back in the day when Zuckerberg was like, when I was human, that just raised a few eyebrows. But now everybody's talking about it. Even the engineers from Google, you know, they're like, it's escaped. Help. The world is screaming for help. You can see the tsunami of misery that's coming. It's like a death march. They're going to exterminate everyone. You will own nothing, you will eat nothing, and you will be happy, they say. That sounds like a threat. But that's their promise. And so if that's what they're talking about, then what are other people talking about? They should be talking about this. It looks like They Live. It looks like Westworld. It looks like Skynet. It doesn't look like Star Trek. It looks like the Borg. It looks like the Matrix is coming. People just want to go shopping. It's too late for that. But it's been a war for a long time. And many people have paid the price. Like the video guy who's just gone on vacation. But many people have paid the price. They've been assassinated by electronic warfare, scalar weapons, energy weapons, raining in from satellites, planes, cell towers, routers, and so much more. But have no doubt they are currently exterminating everyone. Like a boiling frog scenario with radiation. They're just adding more and more radiation. That's why everybody feels so tired. The television calls it long COVID. But here's the facts. At first the birds began to die. Then the bees began to die. And now people are dying en masse. And it's not a coincidence. So, like and share, mirror this content. Get this information out there. This is Stranger Than Fiction News. You can find us on Telegram at STFN Report. Until the next time. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, got some more family. Come on in. Yeah, we got a crowd. Sure.
Okay.
Everybody else is looking forward to
Grandpa's one of the big guys.
That's nice.
No, I'm not saying. He knows I do. I genuinely.
One bigger shot. Come on in.
Do you know what my dad used to say? His granddaughters have one important job. Take care of the pop. The most important one. This is a long day. Walking. That's right, everybody. Don't tell me what you have to. People are waiting for relief. I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare. A lot has been happened already, number one. Number two, I'm going to fight like heck to get them the rest of what I think has to be done. And these are really tough decisions, Senator. I don't in any way dismiss what Senator Murphy says about the environment. Don't dismiss it at all. Just remind him, I wrote the bill on the environment. Why would I not be for it? The question is, how much can we get done? And I'm not being critical, y'all. I really mean this. It was legitimate questions you're asking me. Asking me, well, guess what? Employers can't find workers. I said, yeah, pay them more. This is an employees bargaining chip now. What's happening? They're going to have to compete and start paying hardworking people a decent wage. And by the way, talk of inflation. The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other by the time I finish this song?
I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Put that on the to-do list. The truth is, as of tonight, we don't really know. We have no clue what Joe Biden actually thinks, or even if he's capable of thinking. He hasn't told us. No one's made him tell us. For a full year now. That's by design. In fact, it's becoming clear there is no Joe Biden. The man you may remember from the 1980s is gone. He no longer exists.